Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I'm just on my way home now. I'm actually heading to a meeting with my wife and then my friend Jerry Cannon. She's going to be hooking us up with some doTERRA essential oils. And I wanted to talk to you guys about how to read people. How to read people, okay? Now what I mean by that is how to look at somebody, find out where they're at, and predict what they're going to do. And how to be very accurate at it, okay? Now I grew up buying into the myth that this was not possible until I learned how to do it. And the way that I learned how to do it was over and over and over, just seeing people do things. Everything in life is cause and effect, right? And so you can see causes, whether that's a facial expression, whether that's a tone of voice, whether that is a phrase that somebody says, whether that is relationships that somebody has. Those are causes. And it doesn't matter who it is, those causes create effects. Okay, when somebody frowns, no matter who it is, it means that they're not happy, right? If somebody is in a bad relationship with somebody that has maybe a different belief system, it doesn't matter who it is, the cause of that effect, the effect is going to be that that person ends up either compromising on their belief system or breaking away with the other individual, right? So it does not matter who it is, what it is, there's a way to read people. Okay, and I want to share that with you. If you're just tuning in, I want to just have you share this. Like it. I love the wows. I love the likes. Thank you for watching. Mama Elder's on. Joshua Ravac is on. I hope you're doing well, Josh. Michael Kerrigan is on. I hope you guys are having a great night. We're going to talk about how to read people, okay? So growing up, I was taught that you couldn't, right? And the problem with believing that you can't read people, the problem with that myth is you never know who to trust, okay? And this is not from a position of if you don't know who to trust, then you might get hurt. Okay, that's not my soapbox here. My soapbox is this. If you don't know who to trust, you end up treating everyone like crap because you've got your gun pointed at everybody in the world because you don't know who the good guys and bad guys are. Bottom line, right? If you don't know who to trust, then you don't know how to let people off the hook because you think everyone is up to something. And the reason is that I know this is I've been there, okay? It's not fun, like, especially in business, like meeting somebody and being skeptical. Like, you shouldn't have to meet someone to be skeptical. You should be able to look at them and read them and figure out what they're going to do, right? So I want to break that down. And the benefit of learning how to do this is, yes, you do get protected because you know how to read people. But even more than that, the benefit is you get to let all of the people off the hook that are trustworthy because you know how to tell. Right, your friends, your family, the ones that actually aren't up to no good. You don't have to keep, treating them with a skeptical attitude or a distrusting attitude because you actually know how to read it. So go ahead and share this, like it up. I'm going to share with you something that I've learned that's helped me with this. Again, just really quick, if you don't know who I am, I apologize deeply. I am Jerry. I own a company called WealthX. We help people make money. We help people keep money. We help people multiply money. Bottom line, we help people own their ultimate potential. Okay, and we're going to talk about how to read people. Now, I use this method and this tactic in my business every single day, all the time, with everyone I talk to. And it's called obnosing. Okay, obnosing. It's actually it's a writer's phrase. It's like jargon from writing. But obnosing is basically being able to observe something and make a diagnosis, right? And so what this practically looks like is when you're sitting down with somebody or you're talking with somebody, just watch them. Okay, I don't want you to draw conclusions. I only want you to believe what is provable. So when you look at someone's face and it's wrinkly, our tendency is to say, oh, this person has a lot of experience. Really, can you see that? Like, where is that? You don't know that, but you can see that he's wrinkled, right? If you're looking at my ear, you could assume like, hey, Jerry's got 2 ears. Everyone has 2 ears. I might turn my head and I don't though, right? So obnosing is basically only looking at what you can factually see on somebody and not justifying it either, right? So if somebody frowns when you say something, you don't try and figure out why they frowned. You note that when I said blank, they frowned, okay? So basically, that's what obnosing means. It's observing and making a diagnosis at the same time, right? So the way that you read people is in conversation with them. You just watch them, okay? You just watch them. You don't jump to conclusions. You don't read between the lines. You don't try and figure out why they're doing something. You don't justify why they're doing something. You just simply look at cause and effect, right? So when I'm driving my car and I turn the steering wheel, I don't need to know why the steering wheel turns. I just need to know that when I turn the wheel left, the car goes left. Okay, now I have a button. Every time I want to go left, I turn the steering wheel left. I don't need to know why. I just need to know that it does, right? And so with people, you can tell that same thing, right? If somebody says, for example, I don't know what to do. I'm bored. Okay, you don't need to figure out why they're bored. You now know that they are a bored individual. Which means that they're a distracted individual, right? A bored person is a distracted person. If that person is distracted, then I know when I give them something, they're not going to finish it because they're distracted, because they're always bored, right? If somebody is, let's say, not making eye contact with you and they're looking at the ground a lot, okay? That's not something that you need to read into. You just need to notice that this person looks at the ground a lot. What does that tell me about them? It tells me that they have probably a problem looking at my eyes. Obviously, when you're talking, you should make eye contact, and they're not. Okay, so if they're looking at the ground, that tells me that they have an issue looking me in the eyes. That tells me a lot about them. It means that they probably don't want to be seen, because if you can't see something, usually that thing can't see you, right? So they're not looking at me. So with that, I can predict that this person's probably dishonest. If I tell them information, it's probably going to get shared. Okay? So guys, this is called up-nosing, and it basically is a way to observe people at face value. Again, you're not trying to read between the lines. You're not trying to figure out why they're doing something. You're not trying to figure out how they're doing that thing. You're simply looking at what's happening, looking at the fact. Just, it is what it is, right? And then you're using that to make a prediction. So I want to encourage you, if you're in a business, this is huge with hiring, right? If you're in your interview process and someone is, kicking their feet around, you don't need to figure out why. You just need to see, okay, this person kicks their feet around. What does this mean? They probably are bored, right? If they're bored, they're distracted. What does the distracted mean? It means that they can't finish things. They've got to jump to the next thing before they're done. So I'm going to sign out here. I'm heading into my meeting. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon.